Friends, criticism is part of life. It actually is necessary, and I believe that many times when you care for somebody, you want to criticize them for their benefit. It's called constructive criticism. And in a sense, when you don't like someone, you do not criticize them. We all know that. Our parents taught us that when they were criticizing us. Friends who come and say, look, it's for your benefit, etc. Now, how a person takes it or not, it's totally their choice, and it's hard to hear criticism, but we know that it is necessary. And now it's a normal process that happens in the mind of a person. You see a situation, you see a certain behavior, you see something that is happening, and automatically your brain, God made our brain, be a judge of the situation. And if you feel that there's something that is wrong, and you're close enough to the person, you will share that criticism with them. Now, why is it that people don't take criticism easily? Well, probably because they don't know what's in the mind of the other individual. And what goes through their mind is, perhaps this person is jealous. Perhaps this person wants to hurt me. Perhaps this person is not wishing me well. And that's why they're criticizing what I'm doing. Because a criticism to be taken in a good way, it's not easy. And we all know that. And I'm telling you this because in this week's parasha, Rambam, Maimonides, learns the episode of God punishing Moshe, of the worst punishment that could ever be for Moshe Rabbeinu, which is you will not go into the land of Israel, based on the way he criticized Bnei Israel. We know Rashi says because he didn't talk to the rock, he hit the rock. I'm going to go to the Rambam. Maimonides says something different. He says no. It's because Moshe Rabbeinu went ahead and he criticized Bnei Israel in a way that they could not receive his criticism. Why? Because he calls them Shim'una Hamorim. Hamorim is the rebels. When he calls them rebels, it's over. Here the Rambam is teaching us a very big lesson. We will criticize people in life. We will share our opinions to people. And perhaps the more we love them, the more we share. But how we share them, how we package it, could be completely different, which sounds almost ridiculous. You're saying, if the content is good, and that's true, if the content is good, you should take it. That's on the side of the person who's receiving the criticism. But the one who is giving the criticism, if you love that person, and if it's really coming from a good place, how you deliver it is going to make the entire difference. Why? Because if you focus on the downside, you put a label, a title to the person, and you say, you rebel, that means automatically your connection with that person is not a genuine good connection. And the Rambam says, when Moshe Rabbeinu said rebels, HaKadosh Baruch Hu realized that this criticism didn't come from a good place. This criticism came from a place of anger, from a place of frustration, and there was not going to be any more a possibility of reconciliation, of positive connection between the two. Moshe Rabbeinu had enough because Bnei Israel have complained so many times. And therefore, Hashem realized and says, that's the end of this relationship here. There's no way Moshe Rabbeinu is going to continue leading these people, being that he holds of them so little. And all this was seen by the way the person criticized. So, for all of us, we see things, we share our opinions, but how we share them is the key to how it's going to be received. And sometimes it says more about how we think of the other person and how we think of this criticism more than the criticism itself. So I always say to people, between spouses, there's always going to be disagreements, and even with children, etc. Just use the right language. Just say, my love, or my dear son, or say something nice, or even smile. And just when you do that, it changes the whole criticism to a positive experience. Now, I would like to actually advise everyone to not criticize at all. I'm sorry, I'm changing here. Because the Nefesh HaChaim is a book at the end called Etz HaChaim. It says something incredible. I'll read it. Mitzvat HaTochacha, the mitzvah to rebuke. They quote on the name of Rav Chaim Volozhin that it's a mitzvah on everyone. However, Bizman Hazeh, so Rav Chaim Volozhin about 250 years ago, Bizman Hazeh in his time already, Kashot enam nishma'im. Hard things are not listened to. People cannot take criticism. V'rak b'dvarim rakim v'tovim. Only through sweet and good things. In other words, the way you're going to criticize is by praising the person, how great the person is, etc. Somebody who doesn't have this nature of, sugarcoating and the political correctness that is sometimes necessary. Hu patur mimitzvat hatochacha. He is completely absolved from his obligation of rebuking others. This is incredible, because this mitzvah, if it cannot be received, then it doesn't have to be expressed. And many times, that's the situation. If you assess that your words are not going to be well taken, then it's better just to keep silent. Shabbat Shalom.